Coming up on the Internet Buffet,
Steve Jobs pisses off Adobe,
HP buys Palm,
and Microsoft and HP ditch their slates on the same day.
all this and more on
The Internet Buffet.
episode 9 of the Internet
Episode
Buffet.
9. Wow.
Yes, we've almost hit episode 10. We wanted this to be episode 10 because this would be the episode where we do that background right there. Yes, we are sitting in front of a green screen.
Yep. Or as I like to call, broadcasting live from outer space.
Yep. We can't breathe in outer space.
Underwater.
All right. Wait, we can't.
That's just as bad.
Yeah, we can't breathe in that either.
Never mind.
All right.
Pretend I didn't do that.
What else could you think of?
How
How about Jurassic Park? Hell. All right. Get back.
I'm back.
All right, we're back here. All right, that was close. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
We probably shouldn't be
this.
allowed to have a green screen.
Yep.
But we think it'll make our video much more entertaining. So
Yep.
that'll be cool.
And we can have a nice background instead of the yellowish background and everything in place and everything. Yeah.
And I propose a challenge.
What's the challenge?
I propose that we put a Where's Waldo somewhere in the green screen at some point in the show.
Yeah.
And I guess you won't win anything if you find him.
We'll blip him right
But
here.
yeah, but you'll be able to look for him.
Yep.
While still focusing on what we're saying.
If anyone wants to actually design a little background for us, feel welcome to do. And
I'm thinking a buffet table here, a buffet table there, and a buffet table in the back, kind of like a Chinese buffet. But instead of that, it'd be an internet buffet.
We can have we can have like Facebook right here.
Yep.
Twitter right there.
Sesame seed chicken.
Sesame seed chicken right in between.
Yep.
Yep.
Maybe some bourbon chicken in the back.
Yep. All right. Well, we are also in shooting in HD, so we have a nice HD camera. We have better audio.
We are pretty much
Yep.
professional right now. We went out and we spent probably close to $7,000 on equipment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's our 9th episode. We like to do it big. We got the green screen that costs $1,500 plus the camera upgrades.
We would have done this on episode 10, but 9 we figured we'll just do it anyways.
Yeah, we're just gonna do it anyway. We can't have all the equipment and not use it.
We skipped a week, so this kind of says our 10th episode, but it's our 9th. All right, let's get into it. First story coming up is Apple.
Oh,
well,
it's Apple.
Well, it's Apple.
First story, guaranteed always Apple. But anyway, let's continue.
Because Apple is always in the news. I know that.
I know you're right. They are. They're always in the news.
All right, Steve Jobs on I believe it was Wednesday. Wrote a
essay.
A long essay to Adobe stating why Flash is not going to appear on the Apple iPhone, the iPad, and the iPod Touch, and some of the points that he made out, which
this is nothing we already didn't know. This is just Steve Jobs putting it in writing, and
so we know what he's thinking, and so everyone it basically what sums up the whole entire thing.
We've discussed some of this before when we have our arguments during the show.
Yeah, well let's go through his
points.
The first point he said is that it is not Adobe Flash is not open, which he means that it's a closed proprietary platform, and even though it's multi-platformed, you're still stuck in Adobe's products. You're still having to go and authenticate with Adobe, get licenses with Adobe, and you put stuff up on online, and you can't do anything with the Flash content. It's closed off, and you can't really save it. You can't really do anything. And he's saying that HTML5 is an open platform, and
isn't there licensing fees?
There is with licensing fees with H.264, which is one codec, and then there's Octheora.
No, I'm saying for Flash.
Yeah, I believe there is licensing fees with Flash, but the thing is that H.264, which Apple and now Microsoft, they just announced on Friday that they're going to push H.264
IE9
HTML5 video content with IE9. So Yeah, they he just says that it's proprietary. It's not fully open, which is true. But he doesn't really say that in 2016 that HTML that H.264 the codec for video is actually going to be licensed. You have to license it and pay fees for it, and that's another downside which no one is actually seeing. But we'll see what happens. The other point that he made is that Adobe,
one of several.
Yeah, one of several. Adobe is trying to say that that you're not getting the full web with.
I don't know if it's just Adobe. It's just
it's
the
everyone
internet as
yes.
it stands right now. It's
70,
hard to avoid Flash content.
It's 70% video content, which is a lot of content for video. But now you're seeing sites that Steve Jobs says you're seeing major sites turn over to HTML5.
And what Steve Jobs says goes.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not that they have a dominant force in the market, and a lot of people are saying, well, if they have a dominant force in the market, and a lot of people are going to use it, then we want to adopt it because our users are going to be there. So over time, you're probably going to see the shift from from Flash to HTML5 content, and there's so much stuff that you can do with HTML5. Probably the same amount of things that you can do with Flash.
However, HTML5 is not.
It's
not close to.
Yes,
being
it's
done
not
yet.
close, but I mean, in a year's time, in a year's 2 years time, you're having all of these sites change, which is a big deal. So. Another point that he says is that reliability, security, and performance it has their issues with Adobe Flash. Is that the reliability is not there? Safari crashes.
I think basically he said that
instability.
The main reason Macs crash is because of Flash.
Yes,
it's like the number one reason they crash is.
And I've noticed it too. I mean, I'm using Firefox or Safari. You're watching Flash content. Boom, everything crashes. Once you start that Flash content up, and it's not just video too. It's just Flash content that people have made, like games and stuff. It just crashes.
Now, in rebuttal to this, and we'll get to this in a second, but in rebuttal to that point,
yep.
Adobe CEO said that he argued the exact opposite. He basically said that
he just said
it's not Adobe Flash, it's the hardware on the Mac that's doing that. So.
Yeah, it's just he calls it Adobe CEO. Go
for it.
Shantanu Narayan. He says that
not bad.
Yeah, he says that everything that Steve Jobs is saying is a smokescreen. It's just to say that here's all the problems, which it's really not the case. But ask any Mac user, even ask a couple some Windows users, is that Flash is just a problem, and it's not just performance-wise; it's also security. You see, one of the main
which was another one of his points.
Well, yeah, it was another one of Steve Jobs' points is that security is a main issue with Adobe Flash. It's a closed platform, but also it has security holes in it, and Flash is powerful. It's a powerful means of creating content, and if you have a powerful means of creating content, then you can pretty much do whatever you want, and that's just you're asking for trouble.
Could we go to the moon?
Yeah. But there's no problems.
That's Flash.
You don't have to do Flash or anything. Another thing to battery life. We all know that if you run Flash on a Mac or even a Windows laptop, battery life just drains like that.
Don't be throwing around those snaps, man.
We might go somewhere else.
We'll end up in the Wild West or something.
Which everyone knows. And another thing is, Steve Jobs makes a point, is that Adobe Flash is a mouse-only way of.
Well, it was designed.
It was designed
for a keyboard and a mouse, and that's the measure of input. So, it's not really useful for touchscreens or any new touch-based technology. So, But even though it is, it's just. That's his point.
Yeah, that's his point, and
it's not optimized.
It's not optimized. But we'll probably see that. We'll see if Adobe makes it work with Android and the other Windows Phone 7, Phone Series 7 stuff, whatever it is.
Microsoft Windows 7 Phone
Series
Ultimate.
7. Yeah, whatever. Business or Ultimate or whatever.
Oh. And I would just like to point out that right here is our counter for the number of times